Okay, Ms. Holmes, when we left off, we were talking about a pet snake.
Yes.
Do you remember there being a pet snake?
I remember you talking to me about it yesterday.
Okay. And with regards to that snake, you recall it unfortunately passed away.
I'm pretty sure, probably, I'm not sure it's not here, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Do you remember the name of that pet snake?
No.
In terms of the owners of that snake, do you remember who owned it?
I just know it was, it was in the house with Mariah.
Okay. Where did Mariah live at that time?
She lived in Myanmar.
And do you know the address?
No, I don't.
Who did she live with?
She lived with my boyfriend, but you know.
Okay. Are you telling the ladies and gentlemen of this jury that you don't remember your phone number and
I'm telling you guys, I do not remember my phone number. I don't remember.
And are you telling the ladies and gentlemen of this jury that you don't remember your daughter's phone number?
No, I do not remember my daughter's phone number.
And there's nothing that would refresh your memory or recollection whatsoever?
Objection, ask and answer.
That was 4 years ago. I had so much trauma in my life since then.
Of course. So, is it fair to say that you were worried about Melly when you came down here to Fort Lauderdale on October 26, 2018?
Was I worried about him? Yes, I was.
You were worried about him because he had just been involved in a drive-by?
No, because they said his friend had been in a drive-by.
Okay. And you were worried about him because he was hiding in some bushes?
Objection.
I don't remember his bushes.
What do you remember?
I sustain the objection.
What do you remember?
I just remember him saying for us to come get him.
When you made contact with him later that same day at Frida's house?
Yes.
Is it fair to say he had no blood on him?
No, he didn't have any blood.
And is it fair to say that he left Frida's house and went up to a video shoot that afternoon evening?
Yes, he did.
Did you go to that video shoot?
No, I didn't.
Did Mariah live with Mr. Dennis after the homicide for a period of time?
Yes, she did.
Did she live in a condo in Miami with him?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Have you made other statements about the events of October 26th of 2018?
I don't remember making any other statements.
Do you recall an Instagram conversation with the co-defendant, Cortland Henry?
I don't remember it.
Okay, if any approach, I'll see if this refreshes your recollection as to that conversation. It's 3 pages.
Except for more counsel.
Not yet, Your Honor.
I don't remember it. I don't remember.
You don't have any recollection of that?
I don't remember.
Is that your Instagram, LynQueen258?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and the conversation that you don't recall on that whatsoever?
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Okay. Is your testimony here today that you lied in those statements?
That line in my statements.
The allegations that you made to Mr. Henry?
I don't remember making those allegations, so I don't.
Do you remember sending screenshots of those allegations to a detective?
I remember sending a detective something stating that I didn't threaten for them.
No.
Because I remember that.
You remember sending screenshots of conversations?
I remember telling him that I did, because he reached out to me, asked me that I threatened to kill Gordon. And I said, no, I did not threaten Gordon. I remember that.
Was there any threats made to you by the defendant?
No.
In terms of your daughter, Mariah, where is she?
I don't know.
After this incident, did she live with the family of the defendant?
She's always lived down there. Before this incident, she always lived there.
And your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury here today that you saw Melly on October 26th, 2018.
Yeah, I saw him.
That you spoke with him and heard him on the FaceTime conversation.
I did speak to him, yes.
And it's your testimony that he indicated that it was some sort of shooting that occurred.
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay, and it's your testimony that you saw him on your daughter's cell phone as a video call.
I saw him.
Is it your testimony today that after that you called Jane King?
Yes, I did call Jane.
And in terms of the conversation with Jane King, that occurred immediately after the FaceTime?
Not probably immediately. I'm not probably immediately, but sometime. I'm not quite sure the time. I don't remember what time it was.
And it's your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury today that you were dishonest in your first statement?
I don't remember my first statement.
Okay. Is it your testimony to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that you would
I don't,
lie?
I don't remember my first statement. I have no reason why you.
Yes or no? Did
No,
you lie to police?
I did not lie to you. No,
Yes or no, did you lie to police?
I didn't lie to you. I don't remember my first statement. You're trying to make me say I remember my first statement. I did. For me to say no, I didn't lie with me. I remember my first statement. I don't remember it, so I don't remember.
Well, if you need more time to look it over, I have a copy of the.
I looked it over. I still don't remember it.
Well,
I did it over 100 times. I don't remember.
well, if you'd be so kind as to do it one more time.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you can say that to this jury that this is not truthful. Please.
Objection has been answered 5 times, Judge.
Thank you, objection noted. Move.
I honestly God did not remember any of this on here. Like, I don't remember talking. I don't remember. I had a hard time that year, so it's a lot that I don't remember about that year.
Is it your own practice to only one person?
Objection.
Excuse me,
I
that's
just wrote a lot.
quiet, please.
Going back to the relationship with your daughter and defendant.
Yes.
How long did that last?
3 years. I'm not quite sure how.
During the course of that relationship, did she have multiple photographs of him?
I'm pretty sure she did.
Videos?
I'm pretty sure she did.
After this incident, on October 26, 2018, at Frida's house, is it your testimony that your daughter went upstairs with Mr. Jones?
She did. They did go upstairs.
And went upstairs. And do you know about what time you got to Broward County?
I probably got to Broward. Maybe I can't really remember the time. Maybe I don't know. But 1 o'clock was after lunch. Because we went to right after. So it was after lunchtime. It was 1 o'clock.
Do you remember going to lunch?
Yes.
Do you remember where you went to lunch?
I don't remember which restaurant.
Do you remember who you went?
My daughter and AA.
And that's James Francois' wife?
Yes.
And do you remember, your testimony to the jury that you remember the defendant, how he was dressed without blood on his clothing?
I don't remember exactly what he had on, but I just remember there was no blood, so I would have been, that would have freaked me out. So I know he didn't have the blood on.
No blood on him. Is it your testimony to this jury in terms of that you went to Frito Bang or Frederick Dennis' house?
Yes.
Is it your testimony to the jury that there were other individuals present at that house?
Yes.
Who was it?
I don't know.
Do you recognize any of the individuals?
No, I don't.
Okay. Your daughter, she was present?
Yes, sure.
And in terms of your appearance here today,
Yes.
you don't want to be here.
You made on here.
I did.
Yes, you
So,
did.
and in terms of you were served with a subpoena
Never served.
and so you were ordered by the court to show up.
You never served me originally. That was a lie.
And in terms of your job,
Yes.
did you quit your job?
I got fired because you put me in jail.
And prior to that,
Yes.
before you were put in jail, did you quit your job?
No.
Okay, so you never quit your job.
I had to leave because you told my lawyer to put a warrant out for me. So I had to leave my job.
Okay, so you left your job.
Yes.
Did the defendant ever offer to pay for you and your daughter?
No, I didn't go with it.
Have you ever made things contrary to that?
I don't remember.
I may approach you?
Got an objection.
Ms. Show, counsel.
Ms. Holmes, were you ever told the defense, or the defendant rather, would take care of you and pay for your bills?
No.
Have you ever made a statement that is different than that?
I don't understand anything like that.
Can I approach you?
Just read this. I don't remember that.
Okay,
Yes, and you pay my bills.
so Ms. Holmes, is it your statement testimony that you never stated the promises that were made to us by YNW for me to quit my job and they would take care of us were all lies? They didn't want us talking with prosecutors, but now they have all disappeared. You've never said that before.
I don't remember saying anything.
Objection, Your Honor. Move, Ms. Rose.
Thank you. Let's go sidewalk.
Did the defendant ever make you a promise to quit your job and that they had us?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Thank you, overruled, proceed.
I don't remember saying anything like that.
So your testimony that you never said that.
I
before.
said that.
Excuse me, counsel, she answered the question, all right? Let's move on.
So with regards to your statements with Portland Henry. Do you remember speaking and talking about your daughter with Portland Henry?
No, I don't. What was that? Yes, I don't remember.
Sure. When was that? Here, I'll introduce it to you again. This was February 5th of 2021. You still have it?
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Did you talk to Portland Henry about your daughter's involvement in this case?
I don't recall.
Ms. Holmes, did your daughter tell you what happened in this case?
Objection.
No.
What's the objection?
Calls for hearsay. It's immaterial.
Not what the statement said, but did you say something about the case? Overruled.
No,
Not
she
what was
never
said.
told me
Just,
about-
did you have a,
she never
excuse me, not what was said, was there a conversation?
Was there a conversation that your daughter told you what happened in this case?
What do you mean what happened?
Did your daughter ever
She never
tell,
told me, she hasn't, asked my daughter, did she know anything about this case, and she said no.
have you ever made a statement different than that?
Not that I can recall, no, I don't remember saying anything like that.
Can I approach her?
Yes, ma'am.
We object.
Why don't you show up the council first?
Can we approach?
Yes.
I asked you, did your daughter tell you, did you have a conversation with your daughter about what happened on October 26th of 2018?
Yes, I asked her if she knew anything about that.
Did she tell you what happened without? No, she did
Just
not.
no shit, no.
Have you ever made a statement that is different than that?
Your Honor, we'd object to the lack of foundation, calls for hearsay, speculation, unless they can establish that that witness was present.
Thank you. The objection noted. That's what I previously ruled on sidewalk. Proceed. To your approach.
Showing me your messages from Instagram from February 5th, 2021.
Who was that Instagram? Is that the one, this one stands with Dortmund?
Ma'am,
I
sorry.
don't remember that Instagram.
Look at it.
I already looked at it, when I showed it to you.
So is it,
I don't remember that, you showed it to me like 3 times already.
so you don't recall
I
making
don't
a
recall
statement?
making my statement, no.
Excuse me, one at a time, please. Let her finish her answer before you ask the next question.
So you don't recall making that statement?
No, I don't.
So you don't recall saying?
Objection.
Sustained.
So, Ms. Holmes, in terms you said that your daughter didn't tell you.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
So did you ever make a statement that's different than that?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
Into the statements that with regards to October 26th of 2018. Is it your testimony to the jury that you remember coming to Fort Lauderdale?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained. Listen, I just want one of you to make an objection. Whoever's going to handle the
Yes,
witness. All
I
right?
apologize.
Ms. Holmes, is it your testimony you don't remember why you came down?
I told you why I came down.
Okay, why is that?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained.
Ms. Holmes, have you ever let me rephrase. Ms. Holmes, did your daughter ever threaten to cooperate with law enforcement?
Objection.
Sustained.
Ms. Holmes, did you threaten to cooperate with law enforcement?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Different question.
Why don't you come sidewalk? Answer the question, please.
Ms. Holmes, I want to ask, were you present when your daughter spoke with law enforcement?
She was 17 when I had to be present.
Do you recall about when that happened?
If she was 17, that had to happen in 2018.
Okay. Without getting into what she said on that. Do you remember where that statement was taken?
No, I don't.
Fort Lauderdale, was your daughter concerned for Mr. Dennis?
Objection. Calls for conclusion on part of this witness.
Based on your daughter's demeanor, how was she acting?
Sustained.
When you arrived in Fort Lauderdale and saw Mr. Dennis, did you ask him what happened?
Objection. Asked and answered.
Overruled.
I'm sorry, repeat the question?
When you arrived in Fort Lauderdale, did you ask Mr. Dennis what had happened?
No, I did not.
Nothing further.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
You came here and one of your first, let me get it.
Objection, Your Honor, improper.
I haven't asked you.
Excuse me, counsel, you direct your comments.
I'm sorry, I haven't asked anything yet.
Ask your question.
When you first took the stand, you said, "I feel threatened."
Yes, sir, I do.
Who do you feel threatened by?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Christine Brown, the prosecutor's office.
This prosecutor.
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
Anything else in this witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Holmes, you said you feel threatened by
Of
me.
course.
Okay. Did you fail to appear for numerous court appearances?
No, I never served me, lied,
Okay.
lied to the court.
And with regards to, did you work in Redding, California.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Material rules.
And so that was a location you were at.
That's why I was talking about it.
Okay. And in terms of the prosecution, you have been served on various occasions to testify.
You served me a subpoena on November to be the next weekend. I was in California, 10 hours away. It wasn't even served correctly.
And prior to that, you were served with a subpoena in
Never.
February of 2019.
You never served me. I know you served to a location. I didn't do that anymore.
Do you recall coming to the courthouse in February of 2019?
Objection beyond the scope.
Excuse me,
Anything about the courthouse.
excuse me, no sidewalks.
So, Ms. Holmes, you even went so far as to hire an attorney
Yes,
to
I
try
did.
not to show up.
I sure did.
And has the state offered you any money?
The state basically has me on a monitor after what my job with this. It's embarrassing. People think I'm a criminal. The state has ruined my life.
And in terms of your feelings and ill will towards the state and myself,
I just feel like you lock up innocent people.
and does that influence your testimony today?
It's not influencing my testimony.
Have you-
I'm telling
Have
you.
you- that's-
I don't
Excuse me.
understand.
Excuse me, hold on. Only one of you can talk at a time. You ask the question, counsel, you answer it, and when you let her finish her question, and then when she starts answering the question, you let the witness answer her question, all right?
Yes, sir. So my question was non-responsive on that one.
Ask your question.
So, Ms. Holmes, in terms of the court order that was issued, you're aware that that was found to be valid?
No, I'm not aware of that at all.
Okay. You hired an attorney to go and represent you at the Fourth District Court of Appeals?
He had to hire an attorney to try to get in this far.
And that's a full statement.
Objection.
Excuse me, counsel, you're not testifying.
I
all right?
agree.
Excuse me, you asked a question, all right? That's it, you asked the question.
And so, Ms. Holmes, with regards to that, you hired an attorney
Yes,
and you then tried to get any sort of court order requiring you to be here in court thrown out.
no, what I did was I hired an attorney because you were saying you served me this subpoena that you never served.
And that was found to be valid.
You never served me a subpoena that was, you never served me.
Oh.
I've never seen a subpoena from you from those address that you said you served. Those are not my address.
Your testimony said you have never been served to appear in court.
Objection, that's the answer.
Sustain. Excuse me, sustain.
And so with regards to your feeling threatened on them, have I ever, any sort of physical violence against you? Do you have any written threats from me?
It's intimidating, you've intimidated me this whole time. As
And,
of now,
and in terms of your participation in this case,
yes.
you understand that you were served a subpoena to appear here today?
You served a subpoena after you arrested me. You
And
served
you,
a subpoena at the jail. When I was in Brown County.
and you understand you're here pursuant to that court order?
I'm here.
And that requires, under the law, to comply with court orders to, and that compels attendance of witnesses.
I've been complying.
Nothing further.
Anything further?
No, sir.
Thank you. This witness excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down, you're excused. Want to come sidebar here, please?
Sure.